So let's just start at the top. Good. Let's talk just a little bit about that. This is coming really well. I know you've been working on the pacing. Can you do me a favor? Do you have the English translation in front of you?
Yes.
Can you just read it for me? Just the whole recitative, like you were doing it as a monologue.
And in just one day I lose splendors and magnitudes. Ah, cruel fate. Caesar, my handsome sovereign, is possibly dead. Cornelia and Sesto are defenseless, nor can they give me help. Oh God, there does not remain any hope for my life.
Fantastic. Now, let me tell you something you did different when you spoke it as to when you sang it. When you spoke it, you did the first phrase a little bit more just almost matter of fact and very regally. You sounded like a queen. You sounded like, you know, when we did Fledermaus, you sounded like the Countess scene, where you're speaking very regally. When you sang it, it had a little bit more sort of point to it. What do you think she's feeling when she sings that first line? Is it more the I'm still the queen, or is she a little more raw?
She's definitely more raw.
Yeah, I think so. So can you speak it again? And I want you to have a little more of that rawness in it, okay?
And in just one day I lose splendors and magnitudes.
And what are the splendors and magnitudes she's losing?
She's trying to get her way to the crown, but now she's in prison, so she's losing everything.
And she's used to having everything she wants because she's a powerful queen, and now all of a sudden she's got nothing. So so try that one more time with that in mind.
Speaking it?
Yeah, just speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a method to my madness.
Okay.
Go for it.
And in just one day I lose splendors and magnitudes. Ah, fate. Caesar, my handsome sovereign, is possibly dead. Cornelia and Sesto are defenseless, nor can they give me help. Oh God, there does not remain any hope for my life.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And so we're going to go back and sing it now. And one other little thing you did when you spoke it that you didn't do when you sang it, the first time. After you talked about Cornelia and Sesto, you immediately went into Oddio. When you spoke it, you took a little bit more of a pause. So what is that pause? Is it important?
Yes.
Or it is, okay. Why? Can you tell me why?
I think all the emotions of the moments and things are building up, and that's just when it overwhelms her.
I think that's exactly right. And when you sang it the first time, I liked how you sang the Oddio in terms of the emotion, but I don't think if you were on a stage and you had to communicate to the family circle way up at the top, at the Met, it wouldn't read. That pause wouldn't read as well as you're delivering it vocally. So when we sing it again, when you get to that, after the panic, Cornelia and Sister cannot help me. Oh God, it's that really strong reaction that everything is done. Here you were, the most powerful woman in Egypt. You thought you could connive your way to the top. You thought that maybe Giulio Cesare loved you, and then all of a sudden everything went to pot. So this is, a very powerful moment in the opera. This powerful woman suddenly says, no, I'm actually human. So try that one more time, no pressure. There's a small amount of detail there. With that in mind, so that first phrase has some intensity to it. And then let's see how we'll just kind of work from there. Okay? Here we go.
E par così un giorno perdo
let's just we'll do a little thing there. So, e pur così un giorno perdo fasti e grandezze. There's a pause between giorno and perdo. Why is there a pause there? Or should there be a pause there? What is giorno perdo fasti grandezze? What are those words?
Giorno is one day or day, and then I lose splendors in it.
So, thus in a day, I lose pomp and grandeur. So just make sure when you sing that's all one thought. That's all one thought. And even if you have to take that quick little breath, it's simply because Cleopatra has to catch her breath. It's not that the sentence is over. She's just taken aback. Try that again. Good. Now, you've been in Italy now twice, right? I fattorio, right? I mean, first two things. Number one, I is actually very important, right?
Yeah.
You've been there, so you know that they take those emotional expressions extremely seriously. So you can really both of those vowels, the I fattorio, and the other thing is, have you talked about phrasal doubling at all in your Italian diction? A little bit?
Vaguely.
Vaguely. So it's just the idea that when you have short, usually monosyllabic words, but sometimes these can be two-syllable words that end in a vowel, and it's followed by a consonant in another word. If you want to strengthen that following word, you can basically double the consonant in front of it. So what I mean by that is instead of I fattorio, you can go I fattorio. Really make that F nice and strong. Because what is fattorio? What does it mean?
Cruel fate.
Yeah. So you got to land on that. I fattorio. Okay? Can you just try that actually? Just on that one.
I fattorio.
It's more fun to sing too, right?
Yeah.
And then just make sure Rio. That's not. We're just playing around, but just make sure that stays right in pitch. Good. Can you do that whole first line from E pur again? Nice. Can we play one more thing?
Yes.
I fattorio. Can you do like a start quiet? Because she's mad, right? This I fattorio. So it's like you're mad. It's that kind of sort of build up. I fattorio. Try that one more time. Nice. Totally new color. Good. Il. Make sure that's a nice E vowel. Cesare? It sounds a little bit like il right now. Ce n'est pas français. Il. Nice and close. Il mi, and it's probably because you're thinking of the L. So that E vowel just extended a little bit more. Il mio bel nome. Because what's that mean? Il mio bel nome.
My handsome sovereign, the beautiful one.
Yeah.
My dear one.
And you know, nume, in most dictionaries, it's translated as God, like the Greek style.
Yeah.
But actually, in this particular case, and in cases where a lover is talking about their lover as being nume, it actually can also almost mean guardian angel. So that's another way to sort of translate that in this particular spot. And I think that's what she's going for a little bit there, you know? So, il mio bel nome, that can have real love in it. Which, even though you don't know what's going on, he might be the one who's trying to kill you. You don't know what's going on. All right, straight from Cesare. A little longer on that E. I'm sorry, I'm being picky, but just a little more on that E. Il mio, because right now it sounds like il mio, and it's because you're going straight to the L. And I know it's not an important word because it's il, but at the same time, it is because it's part of that. Il mio. It's my guardian angel, my beautiful guardian angel, and the il is actually part of that little expression. Okay, Cesare.
Cesare, il
So what you just did was corso. Can we try something different? Excuse me. Try something different. This time, so corso, your breath is done. And then you take a breath in for oddio. Can we see what happens if we do that? Excuse me. How about from Cornelia?
Cornelio, esse sto, benerme son, ne sanno darmi soccorso. Oddio, non resta alcuna speme.
Good. Now, why is there a pause between the resta alcuna speme? Or should there be? That's kind of a leading question.
Yeah. I don't think there exactly has to be, but I was taking it as like more another breathless moment.
That's perfect. Just again, make sure that you connect non resta alcuna speme. Just make sure it's really connected. The other thing about Baroque rest, and then also in classical rest, these rests sometimes Mozart and Haydn and Handel would put those in specifically just to simply show where the accents lie within the language. So it's non resta alcuna, right? So cuna has to be on a strong beat, but al doesn't. Mm-hmm. Now it's on the and, but that's still stronger than the of the beat. So I take the breath, absolutely take the breath, make it mean something emotionally, because as I've said to you before, you can breathe anywhere you want as long as it means something emotionally. It usually also has to help you. But if it doesn't help you, you shouldn't breathe. But it's a totally fine place to breathe. Non resta alcuna speme. Just make sure that thought is connected. Very good. Can we do oddio one more time? And because this is a famous opera roll, this is the one Handel opera that gets done a lot. I like it, and I think it's okay, to be slightly more Italian with it. Oddio, slightly more connected. It's too much like the agitaro that's coming up. It's too melismatic. Think very, very connected on those notes. Because anytime in an Italian piece, when they say oddio, it means milk it as much as you possibly can. Okay, go for it.
Oddio, non resta alcuna speme.
Nice. And now what is the pause? I think here is an actual, even though there is no comma in alcuna speme. What's she thinking right there? What is in that pause in Cleopatra's brain?
It's almost a complete loss of hope. Just
Perfect. So play that up. Because remember, everything in opera is a bigger gesture. It's even a bigger gesture than acting on stage. It's slow motion, big gestures. Every breath, every consonant, every vowel means something, and it needs to be drawn out so that poor little grandma at the back of the theater can see you and hear you and see the motions. And even though she doesn't speak Italian because she's German, she'll say, "Oh, das ist ein Ich verstehe, es ist gut." Because she'll hear your emotions, she'll see your emotions, and she'll hear your language, and she'll be like, "Okay, I get it." She's got no hope left. She's got no hope left. So one more time from Oddio, please.
Oddio, non resta alcuna speme. A viver mio.
Good. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. On the Piangero, just make sure that there's no hint of that N until the very last second. Piangero, so it's got piang. It just got ever so slightly, I could hear the N starting to creep in. So make sure that Piangero stays as long as possible. And also, I don't remember. Do you have trouble rolling your R's?
No.
Okay, good. Roll your R a little bit more on la sorte mia. Sorte mia. Okay? Because it's not between two vowels. So, again, you've been to Italy. You know they roll their R's as much as they possibly can. All right, Piangero. Picky. Careful that it's not la ha sorte. La sorte mia. Here's another spot where you could la sorte mia. And they put a little double S in there to make it strong. Because what does sorte? Sorte mean?
Fate.
Fate. My fate. It's another one. Because again, she's crying. Don't you roll your R's when you cry and double your consonants? All right, here we go. Piangero. That was beautiful. Really beautiful. That was really good. Finke. If you can make a little more E up there. Finke. And again, stay on that vowel. Finke as long as you possibly can. It's weird because it's an E, so you're getting up there. But actually, I find that when you're up near passaggio closing, actually, it's better. So make sure that that's nice and E in there. And remember that double T on the word pet. It's very important, right? Mm-hmm. Do we talk about why, yes, what it means otherwise?
Yes.
I won't say it for the film, but so make sure that la vita ta in pet avrò. You can make it a nice long double T. Okay, one more time from Si crudele.
Si crudele.
That's tough. Make sure that's nice. That's the first note. Your intonation has gotten so much better in this piece. That was the first time I heard it. So I'm going to point it out. And part of it, I think, has to do with the vowel, but it also has to do with making sure that half step is really a real nice half step. So it's not kind of a little more than a half step. You're back up there somewhere. So just make sure there's a nice small half step. And part of that also is you can get, after you sing Si crudele. Are you breathing there? La sorte mia, si crudele. You can take a nice big deep breath there, because in the orchestra nothing is going on that downbeat except for the continuo and the cello are playing a note. So the conductor will wait for you for that tanto to come back in. Good. Can you just take it please from Piangero la sorte mia.
Piangero la sorte mia, si crudele, e tanto rio.
Good. Double that T. It's beautiful. Let's go on to the next section. to be able to sing through it. Very, very good. It's the coloratura is really, really much, much, much better. So good. Couple little things. Shoot. I should have stopped, but I didn't want to because since you're singing this tomorrow, I wanted to make sure you got a run of it. Some of the there is a starting note somewhere in here, and actually we'll work backwards a little bit. It wasn't quite on pitch, and I know at the very, very end that that make sure that that's a D sharp, because this is one thing I know that you've been working a little bit on. You have a tendency to go like that, so it's so can we just take it from and then just hold the next note? Okay, agitaro. Hold. Good, good. Do it one more time, then keep going. One more time. It's easy in isolation, isn't it? Very nice. Now, where sort of positionally should you begin fatta in terms of placement in your voice?
I always imagine it to be higher so that I can prepare for this bit.
You have to, it's almost as if, in fact, I want to just try this real quick. It's almost as if you have to go, you have to be all the way up to that B natural already. Can we actually just do that? Just real quick, it's an experiment, and I want you to just, I want you to just go fa ta up there and then stop. And I want you to think about where it's happening. I want you to kind of take a mental picture of where it's happening, and then we're going to do it for real. So just saying, and then just when you're after you go, da da da. Actually, just saying fa. You don't even have to sing anything else. Just sing fa up there, and just figure out where that is. Okay. B too. That's a beautiful B. So that's the position. Okay. Now, can you start fatta and in that position and stay in that position the whole time? Okay, achitero. That's how'd that feel? Okay. Yeah, and that's much. And Handel was smart. He gave you that time. Now, who knows if that is the actual ornament you could do, but since it's Baroque, that minor third is the acceptable interval that you can do that. So who knows? They might have. But either way, start it up in that high spot. He gives you that rest. So in that rest, besides also being ultra dramatic, think, okay, I'm already on the B. So fatta spet, that lower part's not important. They're paying for the B natural. That's what they want to hear. That's what they want to hear. Very good, very good. And I will stop us on this just for now. But it's going really well. The recit is coming along beautifully. You can even just take it a step further dramatically. You make it, you have to almost ham it up. Okay. You don't want to be disgusting. Like, you don't want to be cheesy, but at the same time, you know, this is opera. People come to watch exorbitant acting, right? Yeah. So you want to be as dramatic as possible and make every one of those little breaths and pauses and double consonants mean something to Cleopatra. Why is Cleopatra doing that? And you're on your way to doing that. For your recital, it's going to be fantastic, and for your auditions, it's going to be even better. So we will continue working on that. All right?
Okay.
Thank you. All right.